Oh, the lighting is so shitty in the corner I parked. I thought it would be better over here in the shade, but there's that one light hitting me right on my delta chin. How ironic. Hi. It's been a while. Last movie I reviewed was Morbius, the Living Vampire, with Jared Leto. It goes to show that Jared Leto does cause actual health problems when you go see a movie. So I've been having a lot of different shit come up this past month. Fever, flu, double ear infection. I've had a panic disorder diagnosed. I think for once my anxiety just kicked in. I mean, shit. What is my heart rate now is good, but damn. Feel like anytime I go anywhere in public now, it's like now I have social anxiety, which I have meds to control it, and it's gotten better over the past week or two, but limited range of motion when you have fainting and dizziness and stomach pain and you're worrying about your health and double ear infection. You had the stomach bug 3 weeks ago, and now, you know, it's a lot of shit at once. Thankfully, I was able to get out there and go see the biggest movie. I think, is it going to be the biggest this year? I'm really trying to think of, like, what movie could make more money, like, off the top of my head. It seems like this one's identified to make the most, since I don't know if Spider-Verse even would've. I don't think Thor, or maybe Black Panther too, depending on the marketing, can get a lot of people in. But I had to make it out for my boy, Doctor Strange 2. Sorry, not Doctor Strange 2. Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. This is the sequel from now director Sam Raimi, as Scott Derrickson, the director of the first Doctor Strange and Sinister, dropped out very quickly, actually, after it was announced that he was going to be in the role. And I'm quite surprised at this movie, honestly. It's a weird one. It is a weird one. And I don't know necessarily if that's for the better or worse. This certainly isn't a bad movie, and that's the first thing I want to point. I think a lot of fans, and I can tell, like, people talk when they come with groups of friends. I'm going with my dad tomorrow, and then probably my nephew, and then I suspect friends at some point. So I see all these Marvel movies multiple times because everyone wants to fucking go to them. But I always want to be there opening night to avoid spoilers to the max that I can. And if you can, don't watch the TV spots, because I've heard everyone's saying, like, oh, the leaks are in the TV spots, like all the big cameos and reveals and shocking things. I have not seen them, but if what I have heard from literally every YouTuber who has said don't watch them to be spoiled, do not watch them to be spoiled. Surprise yourself. There are quite a few surprises in here. I'd say 3 for sure. I was like, oh, cool. Oh, what? Whoa! And the audience cheered for 2 of them, so you'll see them when you go see the movie. As for a story, the basic premise, without getting into too much detail, Doctor Strange has kind of caused a multiversal ripple, a little bit of experience with that from Spider-Man No Way Home, but something is truly breaking open the multiverse this time, and we have a new character, America Chavez, who needs to learn how to control her powers, and of course there's a villain out there who of course wants those powers, as the usual story goes, and Doctor Strange must protect her and the multiverse and his universe, of course, just directly. And as much as it is a America Chavez setup story, it is a WandaVision sequel as well as a Doctor Strange sequel, and it is properly all 3 of those things at once, and it doesn't really break that boundary. It is pretty consistently all 3. They all kind of get an equal doing, which is something that really works with the film. The first act alone is one of the fastest paced acts. It actually just opens with you, like, in the middle of the story. Like, you're almost like, I wish I had 20 more minutes to build up to this. And I would wonder if that would help in some scenes, but it doesn't matter. This movie is very short. If you heard the announcement, it's only 2 hours and 6 minutes, and before the credits, at least, the scrolling at the end are 8, and there's like 3, probably altogether, this movie's like an hour 50, hour 52. It's very short on its own. And that's the thing. It's too short. I almost wish it were longer, so I could process half of what was going on the entire movie. I almost felt like I couldn't comprehend some of the things, and maybe that's good on a second viewing, and that'll be open to it. That will probably help in some way, but seeing it this first time, I was like, there's a lot going on at once. I also saw it in 3D. I forget to recycle the 3D glass every time. I always like hook them on me and then walk out. And I'm like, fuck, they did that again. Seeing it in 3D, don't recommend. I haven't been to a 3D movie since Ant-Man, and those Ant-Man movies really have a layer when they do the shrinking scenes, and those really work for Marvel. I remember I saw the first Doctor Strange in 3D and went, that was okay. Don't do this one in 3D. I don't think it works as well. I think you would be best seeing this IMAX 2D straightforward, is what I would recommend. I only went to this because it was the earliest showtime so I could make it to school, and they started the movie like 20 minutes late, and I'm like, if I try to go to my fucking class, I'm gonna be 20 to 30 minutes late. Anyway, so that didn't work out. Anyway, the movie itself, very entertaining and very slick and fast-paced. I loved Benedict Cumberbatch. I liked Xochitl Gomez, who plays America Chavez. She was cool. I almost wish they did more with her, and I'll get to that when I do a spoiler review, because I have to do a spoiler review for this movie. The best I can say about her is that she is kind of the MacGuffin of the movie, but she's a likable, fun MacGuffin. She's not dumbass Transformers MacGuffin that's the same fucking weapon in every movie. She is truly a piece of the story and a piece of the puzzle. She really does fit in. She has some funny interactions with Strange and Wong, which was cool to see. This is definitely the most screen time I think Wong has gotten in a movie. I feel every movie Wong is like, oh, he's there and he's fun, but he only gets those like little bits. He has a bit more to do, and in the action scenes he's in, he is fucking badass. He's the new Sorcerer Supreme, and I dig it. I don't know if we're ever actually going to go back to Strange being the Sorcerer Supreme, unless Wong dies eventually, but we'll have to see. I don't think, here's the thing about Marvel characters, man, it's like no one's ever really fucking dead. It's like, I don't think anyone, Loki, he has a show, the motherfucker ain't dead. You know, you can kill Strange in every goddamn movie, and he'll probably be back for Doctor Strange 3 and 4 and 5 and 6. That's not to say Doctor Strange or Wong dies. I'm just, for example, no one does die in these movies, and that's fine. With the multiverse now, shit, everything's open to possibilities. And I feel that this movie, I should warn everyone, the marketing is probably a slight lie. I think everyone is going to see this as the Doctor Strange in the cameos of everyone movie. I think people are expecting 4,000 cameos, fucking Ghost Riders and Deadpools and 20 different Iron Mans and Captain Americas and thousands of other characters and obscure characters you never heard of. No, expect this to be a very limited range of surprises. It is some multiverse traveling, very limited in sequences, but there's, trust me, a minimal amount of surprises in terms of cameos. And I'm only saying this so when most people go and they go like, "Oh shit, I'm here because I want to see my boy or girl," depending on who they are. You might not see them. You might not. I'm just gonna say, maybe there is ones you want to see and they do appear. I'm just saying, like, it isn't packed like that. It is a very different kind of madness. It is madness. This movie gets bonkers and insane and dark and violent. Surprisingly, for PG-13 movies, there's times I was like, oh, fuck, they can do that? Not to say they were near an R rating. I've heard people say, like, don't take your kids to this one. It's, like, limited. It's, like, close to an R rating, possibly. No, you could take... There was a person who brought their 2 kids, and I saw them walking out right in front of me, and they were probably both, like, 7 or 8, and both of them went, like, that was the coolest movie ever. Like, yeah, unless your kid's a little fucking bitch, like, a little whiny bitch boy, you know, maybe. But if they're not, I don't see the problem here. It's a very calm... bonkers, creepy at times, but it is nothing. It is not a horror film fully. It is a bonkers Sam Raimi film, and it's a balance. It's a little bit horror, a little bit superhero. It's not strictly horror that second and third act, as people have said. So don't worry about it. Take your kids. I'm gonna take my nephew who's 7 because he really wants to see it. I don't think this will freak him out at all. Like, that boy has seen Krampus, and I think Krampus is scarier, and Krampus ain't even scary. I'm checking my time right now. In terms of the action, interesting. Not as cool as the action in the first one. And you would think they would improve on that, and that's not to say that the first one's, like, amazing in terms of the action. Visually, it's kind of cool. And there's some cool visuals here. It just isn't Doctor Strange action like I expected. The best action sequence, in my opinion, involved music. literal music, and I'm not going to say the context of it, but I thought that scene was so ridiculous that I was like, this is kind of fucking awesome. It's so different. And the score by Danny Elfman should be said to be amazing. Danny Elfman did a great job. It is a memorable score compared to... I feel like half the Marvel scores are like that hyped up relation, but they're related strictly to the character. The only scores that I always remember that are iconic are like, well, the obvious Captain America, Avengers theme scores. Those are big. And everyone knows them just because how much they're played. But the Guardian score, No Way Home, and this one, I think, are my favorite scores. They're very different. If you care about your music and your scores, I should feel pointed. I think you will enjoy this one. Let's talk about the bitch. Let's talk about the big bitch in the room, and that is Wanda Maximoff, who's grown to be one of my favorite characters. I feel like anytime I've seen her, she's grown to be one of my more favorite characters. I would say in Age of Ultron, didn't really care about her. She was kind of just there, and that's not her fault. She just wasn't a great start, in my opinion. I enjoyed her in Civil War, and I enjoyed her development through the Avengers films, the later half of them, the Infinity War and Endgame, and I goddamn loved WandaVision. If you know me, I adored WandaVision. Even if I thought the finale was a little weak in parts, I still think it is overall the best MCU show. Concluding that, I should review Moon Knight, because I'll say, it was, y'all are overreacting out there. Oscar Isaac's great. I shouldn't fully shit on it. Wanda's great here. I'm not going to get into what her character arc is, because it's very limited in the trailer, but I think people are going to be very split on it, but doubtfully so, and rightfully so. Her performance is amazing. You can no doubt count on the fact that her performance is amazing. Elizabeth Olsen, if given more emotional scenes and more screen time, because she has a lot of screen time, but this is a short movie in a limited range, and she is kind of the... I won't say she's the background, but she's not Strange at the forefront. If she had more moments, I could see her getting Oscar nominated for this film, and if the film had a bigger buzz, but it's going to get a lot of mixed reviews, because it already has. It's been not low rated for Marvel, but it's definitely not the high appraisal for Marvel that you would see all the time, and I kind of like that. I kind of enjoy that this isn't going to be a mixed film, because I quite liked what they were going for. Complaints. Pacing-wise, very fast, kind of rushed, and that didn't always work for me. I wish at times it had slowed down, because it feels like a movie that really needed to slow down in parts. I also think it needed to be more open-ended. It feels very abrupt. The ending of this movie is quite abrupt, is what I'll say. I feel like it needed a little bit more explanation in scenes. There are scenes that kind of just ended with people, and I'm like, oh, and they're not coming back. Maybe in the future. It actually made me go, holy shit, I hope Doctor Strange 3 isn't a 6-year wait like from the first one in 2016. I fucking hope, unless it's going to be a spin-off movie or a show or whatever they're doing with Doctor Strange at some point, I hope Doctor Strange 3 is soon as fuck, because I kind of want to know what's happening. They left it that open, and not that kind of great Marvel open where it's like, you know exactly where this is going. I don't know where this is going. The audience themselves seem confused. I heard the people next to me were like, huh? When the movie ended, and then when the first time credits, they could be like, what, again? What? We'll see. I think they're going to have it. They have it clearly planned out in some capacity. Kevin Feige, fucking genius out there. But it did feel a little open-ended, so I'm very curious to see where it goes. Action, as I mentioned, pretty good. Casting, great. Wish they had more development for America Chavez, for Xochitl Gomez's character. I hope we get more answers for what's going on with Doctor Strange later on. I really fucking want to see what's going on. And I hope we get a damn good sequel. I wouldn't mind if Sam Raimi kept directing. I like his style. It's very different, and it is quite unique. And when you see it, you're going to be like, this is kind of corny. I kind of love that it's this corny, and at times creepy, and more violent and hyperactive than the other Marvel films. And at times it could be its weak points. But I'm not going to say that this is a bad film. I think this is a film that most people who will see it will very much enjoy it. So, with that being said, because I got to get going, I think that this film is a lot of fun. I think on a rewatch, I would better be able to give it a score. I almost don't want to and do it in the spoiler review. If I had to say a score right now, I'd say 7.5 out of 10. I think it's damn good, damn fun, worth the ticket price. You're gonna see it anyway, and I think you will have fun with it. Even if some things are messy, some things aren't perfectly explained, it has an abrupt ending. all Marvel films have been this kind of weak. I'd say, like, I think it's equally, I actually think it's a better film, technically speaking, than No Way Home is, but I had more fun, and it is a more crowd-pleasing and open movie than this one, and I feel like there's some parts I'll miss. I do need to see this again and for sure confirm that rating, and I'll be doing a spoiler discussion because it needs to be talked about with spoilers, but I had fun, and I'm very curious what my friends think. I think I have a few people I know who are going at 6 or 7 tonight, so they'll probably text me after they see it, and I'm curious to see what people, I'm just really curious what people think of this one. This one's going to be an interesting one to hear about. So that being said, spoiler review and Moon Knight review are my plans for this month, and if I see other movies continuing to get better, then I will let you know. I wore my Avengers shirt, perfect for this moment. And that is all. So 7.5 out of 10. Do check it out if you're gonna see it anyway. What am I fucking talking about? And see you in the next video. I'm sorry about the fucking lighting. Could I have done this? Fuck me. I could have done the fuck it. It's over now. There's no point. I'm not re-recording this shit. Alright, bye.